Today we went out on the GS1100. It's a 1982, and from the era when drag racing was king. And we had a real surprise at the end of the ride. And you can watch this whole thing, including the surprise, in 4K. Now, I clearly remember in the late 70s, I was drag racing, and my H2 I thought was about as much fun as you could have with a motorcycle. And I got the 1000cc Suzuki after that. And then when I traded the 1000 in on the 1100, I didn't know they could make better motorcycles. And that was the era of drag racing. Every magazine, all they put in was E.T.s and times and elapsed times. And it was a wonderful time to be alive. And this bike made it even better. And it's a beautiful, just a beautiful day. And we are going to get out on the open road. And in our mind, relive those wonderful days, the 70s, the 80s, when drag racing was king. But as always, the first thing is we got to move some of these bikes around, get them pre-flighted, and have our final cup of coffee, oogle the bikes a little bit, and then get out on the open road. And as I'm moving bikes around and getting the bike ready, pre-flighted, checking the air, etc., doing my yard work before I go, I keep thinking of those days of Island Dragway. Anybody that ever was up to Island Dragway knows. And guys would read in a magazine that their bike turned a 13.3 or what, and they'd go up to Island Dragway and they'd turn a 15.2. There were so many people disappointed because the people in the magazine were really experts at getting the E.T.s right. Maybe they lied, I don't even know. But I know everybody that came up with an H1 or an H2, and those were the two bikes I was familiar with, They never got them to do exactly what was in the magazine, sometimes not even close. And it's just a question of writing skill too. But anyway, I really wanted to get the bike ready for today. Today looks like a spectacular day. And reliving the past is always one of the things I do when I'm riding a motorcycle. I always like the bike to be clean. I always like to have something to dream about. And my late friend George Venturini used to say, dreams are free. And Karen, of course, we feed the birds in the morning while I'm having my coffee. Our garden is just starting to come to fruition now. We've done some more landscaping, and we have a little bet going with Guy and his wife. They're planting tomatoes, and we've planted our tomatoes already. We're going to have a tomato championship. Guy, I'm in the lead so far. My plants are a foot high. We'll see how his are when we go up to his house. We got some new flowers this year. We got a lot of stuff. The farm is one of the things keeps me busy all summer. Feeding the fish, of course, we do have some baby fish, in fact. And it just gets more and more fun as we come closer and closer to the real summer where it's going to be summer riding gear. We're not there yet, though. But just looking at this bike and dreaming, I'll have a lot of things to dream about while I'm riding around today. And a surprise at the end. Now, thinking back to all my days of drag racing and all the times we went to Island Dragway and to Atco, and people will remember those days, they are just wonderful. But I never took this bike to the drags. This bike was not, by the time I got this bike, I was already interested in other things like going up and spending weekends up in Lake George, going on long trips. And this bike was so comfortable. The power band, everything about it just made wanting to go on long trips so easy. And some of my friends have turned their GSs into drag bikes, into hot rods. In fact, there's one person sent me a comment on a video. He's got one that's 1460 cc's, and there's one I saw that was turbocharged, and Joe Padula sent me that. But I have preferred over the years to keep this bike pretty much stock. Now, at this point in my life, I like to relax a little bit, and when I'm out on a ride, if I see something cute, I try the mother goose with the baby geese. I just stop, check it out. I enjoy relaxing during a ride. It's not all going through the gears and all trying to evade radar traps, but this bike does it all well. That's the unique thing about it. You can go to the drags, you can make a drag race bike out of it. The engine is bulletproof, and you want to just go out on a cruise like today, just go out on a nice ride and check the geese out. It does both well. And I've told the story before, but the day I bought this at Westwood Suzuki, I rode up with my 1000cc Suzuki, and he had just gotten these in. He had 3 of them. I liked this color, and I took a test ride. There was no turning back. I had to have one, and I don't remember what bank I robbed or what, rob a gas station. I got one, and to this day, I'm glad I did. I have heard Island Dragway is still in business, and it's about an hour and a half from my house. I think for nostalgia, one day I'm going to, just for nostalgia, jump on a bike and drive up there and relive those golden days. And this engine has 79,000 miles on it. It has just been a jewel. It's like it was made by Rolls-Royce. It is just a jewel. Suzuki, my hat's off to you. You got a lot of stuff right. Now, I made a lot of little mods to the bike over the years to make it my own, painting the wheels, polishing things. The whole engine is polished, most of it anyway, and painting the instrument cluster. There's just a lot of little details on the bike. You don't really notice it till you park it right next to one that's totally stock. It's got an 86 exhaust system, a black chrome exhaust. It's a lot of little details, and over the years, it's been a labor of love. And I wish I had $1 for every person that ever looked at the bike, walked around it for the first time and said, hey, if you ever want to sell that engine, I'll buy it from you. And because it's an air-cooled bike, all the maintenance is just easy peasy. Changing the plugs, easy peasy. Valve adjustment, simple. Everything about the bike, easy to work on. When you have to adjust the chain or anything, simple, easy to do stuff. You don't need any real special tools. But the main thing is, it doesn't need a lot of work. It doesn't need a lot of maintenance. It seems to just go on forever without giving you any cause for concern.
Be able to reach me.
Is he hurt? Or is that the way they normally walk?
I think he's not hurt. I just wanted to make a right and go down into the water.
Don't put that stick by his mouth.
No, I did that to see if he would react, but because I wanted to grab him. Yeah, I know. I'm going to grab him from his butt and just try to put him down the water. I know. And then wash my hands, right? Yeah.
This ought to be fun. Somebody's going to lose a finger here. Well, you never know what's going to happen when you're out on your gear. Look at this. You believe this? Don't Don't put your, don't put your foot there. Ay, 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 ay. You trying to steer him? Oh my God. So what happened? I come flying up over the hill, and this car is parked right behind me. You can see in the mirror. Parked, blocking the road. We're having a turtle episode here. Look at it, can you believe this? Alright, you're safe now. Holy moly. Get him in there. Can't make this stuff up. Well, drag racing in the 70s and 80s definitely was fun, definitely great. But you know what? It's great riding around right now. If you have a motorcycle, no matter which one you enjoy and you enjoy riding it, you're going to live a lot longer than the person who doesn't ride motorcycles. That's a fact. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit the like button if you did, and thank you so much for watching.